The crowd is amped up, ready to get this season underway, as are we. Back with more in a minute. Hello and welcome to Oakland. We're at Ring Central Coliseum. Opening day baseball on the show. It's the Cleveland Guardians going up against the Oakland Athletics. Joined by my partner, Chris Singleton, I'm John Shambi. All right, partner, ready to go. Always a pleasure to get things started with you on opening day.
Well, Happy New Year, buddy. And anyone that's involved in baseball, even though it's not January 1st, this is the start of a new year. Every team has playoff hopes. I love this time of the year. I'm excited to get things going.
All right, we'll be back to get this one started after this. Just about set to go. So here's the lefty, Vida Blue.
Comes into this start sporting a lifetime ERA just over 3. He's been pretty great for most of his big league career. Can't wait to watch him in this one.
Stepping up for the Guardians, Stephen Kwan.
The left-hander, Stephen Kwan.
Next pitch misses way outside. Swing and a miss. Nice changeup. Swing and a fly ball in the air out towards right center field. And he makes the catch. One down. Here's the Guardians lineup now. They're dealing with a top-level arm on the mound, so this figures to be a tough matchup for them. What's the key to the offense today, Singy?
Oh, Boog, I think when you got a guy that's this talented on the mound, you got to find ways to disrupt his rhythm, make him uncomfortable a little bit. The guys that can handle the bat and perhaps, bunt for a base hit, get him moving off the mound. If you're in the box and he seems to be just in a flow, step out, mess up his timing, somehow try to get in his head a little bit. And then when he does come in the zone, you may only get one pitch. You better not miss it.
And another ball. And Singy, as a team, you need to make the most of the very few opportunities he's going to give you, right?
Absolutely. And if you get to guys like this a lot of times early, once they really settle in, it's going to be the later innings that they hand that ball over to a reliever if they do at all.
One out, base is empty. Waves at the bender for the strikeout.
Got away with that curveball, no doubt about it. It passed right through the heart of the strike zone, and he just couldn't get the bat on it. When you strike out on one like that, that's when you start having conversations with yourself, and they're not usually very friendly.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Two down, nobody on. And that's off the inside edge. 3 balls and a strike. Grady Sizemore on deck for the Guardians. And it's ball 4. He missed down low.
One of the things about that 2-out ball, the base runner over at first base is going to have a very aggressive secondary lead. So ball down the line or into the gap will produce a 2-out RBI, and those are the best. That is, if you are the offensive side of it.
Now, Grady Sizemore. That one off the mark. 2-1.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Two outs. Swings through that one out in front that time.
2 strikes.
kicks and fires. Swings through it, and that's a strikeout. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and one left on. And the A's will get their first opportunity in a scoreless ball game. Back here in the East Bay. And towing the slab, Bob Feller. What do you have on him, Chris?
Power pitcher. He's going to speed you up with the fastball velocity, and out of his hand will explode the breaking ball. Very difficult for hitters to keep that front side closed and hit the ball the other way, because they know if they're not ready to pull the trigger, the fastball will beat them.
Good plate appearance there. Able to take the walk.
Now, this was a story we were paying attention to before the game. We've seen him give up walks in the past, and it's an issue once again early on.
At the plate, Zach Geller. And the pitch. Gets a piece there. We'll do it again. Runner at first with no outs here. Runner on the move. Spoils the 2-strike pitch, and he'll see another. Two now. Battling here as he fouls it away. Got him. He didn't make it easy for him on the mound, but they still get the strikeout. Jason Giambi up next for the A's. Wouldn't chase that time. Next offering is in for a strike.
Cold night tonight, Boog, and that's a pretty fun fastball right there. I tell you what, memories of getting jammed, they are creeping into my mind right now.
Righty to the plate. Very high with that one. And the count's full. Here comes a pitch. Foul ball, and it remains a full count. Fouls it back with 2 strikes. The pitch. That one ripped. Gone. He'll circle the bases. His first homer of the year. The Athletics score first. It's 2-0. He kept swinging, and it paid off.
Well, that was a battle, Boog, and he just kept taking his cuts. Finally squared one up. Clearly some frustration out there on the mound right now. I mean, that ball was so close to going foul. Would have been a long strike, but instead, batter gets rewarded. Did a nice job of getting to the pitch and hitting it hard enough to get over the fence.
Next to hit, Ricky Henderson. Got it by him for the K.
Definitely made him chase a little bit out of the zone right there. I don't think that's a strike if he takes it. Pretty textbook pitching. Get ahead in the count. Get the guy in the box on his heels, and then force him to chase your pitch where he doesn't have much of a chance to do any damage. You could see he was trying to stay back long enough to handle the off-speed pitch, but just a little tardy on the fastball.
And a ball and 2 strikes. And they'll do it again. Bases empty, 2 away, but 2 runs are in here on opening day. Next pitch, not close, up high. Righty delivers. In the air to left center. Sizemore under it. Makes the play, and it's out number 3. The A's with a 2-run blast. And it's 2-zip. Back after this on the show. New inning getting started. So in now for Cleveland, Josh Naylor. Obviously a guy who makes good contact, hits for average. But one of the things in today's game, the value in the fact that he hits both righties and lefties. And a 1-1. In the air, left side. Henderson moves under it. And there's one down. Here's Ramon Laureano. One down, base is empty. Swing and a miss. That one at 99. And the count is 1-2. Good eye in that spot.
It's a good take. Umpiring behind the plate for us today, Boog, is Mike Fillmore, and he is a good one. He'll reward pitches on the edges a little bit, but the main thing is he doesn't keep you guessing. Once he establishes that a pitch is a strike, it stays that way.
Spoils that one, and it remains 2-2. And he deals. And a foul ball, he stays alive. A wind in the pitch. Hacks and misses. It's a strikeout.
Well, I don't think there's a hitter alive that hasn't at some point succumbed to that pitch right there. It just looks like it's in the zone the entire way, and then the top spin and gravity take over in the blink of an eye, and it's just such a tough pitch to lay off of.
Here's Andres Jimenez. Gloves it on the dive. The throw. Safe at first, and an infield single keeps the inning going.
Lefty matchup things not going so well.
So man aboard. Bo Naylor at the plate now. And that one ripped to left. Fair ball. And that rolls into the corner. Coming home. Relay throw home. And he's out. Up, down, and that ends the inning.
It was exciting to see a play at the plate. Trying to score with 2 outs, but the tag just gets him in time. And they cut down the run to end the inning.
Second. Now it's J.D. Davis. Bob Feller was only 17 years old when he made his major league debut, and it did not take long for him to make a name for himself. Right-hander kicks, deals. He swings and fouls one off. Talking about Feller's debut, he burst onto the scene at his first start. He struck out 15 batters, and he was still in high school. In his 4th start, he racked up 17 Ks. And that's down and away.
And Feller didn't slow down anytime soon. Led the league in strikeouts for the next 4 seasons and won 93 games.
Swings and misses, struck him out.
Came inside with that 2-strike fastball nicely and just bunched him up on the inside part of the plate. Couldn't get around on it and catch it out front. Many times if you do, it's a foul ball. And you know, a lot of pitchers, they really don't like working inside with 2 strikes because they do not want to hit that batter. And when they've got him up against the ropes, got to figure out a way to put him away. Did a nice job right there.
Into center. Sizemore under it. He makes the grab. 2 away.
Batting it, the catcher.
2 outs, base is empty. Tyler Soderstrom digs in now. That misses the zone, and it's 2-1.
2-1.
They say you win.
2-2 count.
Popped up. Makes the grab, and that is that. A's go quickly and quietly there as they're unable to add to their 2-0 lead. On to the 3rd inning. Now it's the shortstop, Gabriel Arias.
Gabriel Arias.
The wind of the pitch. And there's a ball.
2 strikes.
Cuts on it and misses. That's a strikeout. Blew the express right by his bat for strike 3. Here's the left fielder, Stephen Kwan. He's kind of an outlier, especially when guys are consciously sacrificing contact to deliver power. The 1-1. And another ball.
Yeah, his swing is so good. It's in the zone a long time. He gets the barrel to it a lot, and that produces more base hits.
Lifted in the air down the left side, and it drops in. So they get a man aboard with a 1-out single.
Now
fastball off the plate a little bit, but a really nice job of going with it. Punched it to the opposite field for that knock.
1 gone, runner at first. Here's the 3rd baseman, Jose Ramirez. Kwan over at first with 1 away. Another 1-2. Fouled off the plate. They'll do it again. The pitch. Here goes the runner. This one in the dirt. Blocked by the catcher. And he steals second base without a throw. The A's up by 2. We're here in the top half of inning number 3. Blue picks over Kwan. Back in on a dive. Though Chris, through the early stages, he hasn't been very efficient in terms of the pitch count. He's going to need to get some quick outs if he's going to get deeper into this game.
Full count.
In the dirt, but kept close. Tag, save. He's into third on the wild pitch.
Well, he's got nobody to blame but himself. With 1 out, a runner on third can come home all sorts of ways now. That's why, as a pitcher, you have to execute pitches even better when there are runners on base.
It is interesting, though, when you consider the way the game is run now. Doesn't even matter that much if your starter doesn't go that deep, because teams are really aggressively building their bullpens. And a pitch. Swings and blasts one deep to left center. Dives. What a play. And that should get the job done as he tags from third. He's in on the sac fly. It's 2-1. So a great diving catch, and that was only possible because of the route he took to get there, right, Chris?
Yeah, StatCast shows us just how efficient that route to the ball was. In fact, that's about as good as it gets, pretty much a direct line to it. And perhaps he was a wide receiver in a different life, I don't know. But, man, great job to hold on all the way through the dive as well. No fumble caused by the ground.
A's leading by a run as we play game one of this 4-game series. And he hits a ground ball right side and foul ball. The line to kick the pitch.
The count is full.
Grady Sizemore next to bat for Cleveland. Two down, nobody on. And down on strikes he goes. And that is that. So they get 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and no one left. We move on to the bottom of inning number 3. It's the A's 2 and the Guardians 1. And welcome back to the ball as we go to the last of the third. And now the shortstop, Aledmys Diaz. Pitch. And that's off the inside edge. 2-1.
You know, these A's showing great discipline at the plate, and patience definitely seems to be the name of their game in this one. They're doing a good job of working the pitch count, and they've been able to push a couple of runs across to score as well.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Kicks and deals. Foul ball, another 2-2 upcoming. The wind to the pitch. Fly ball center field. Coming in on it. He's got it. 1 away.
It's still relatively early, but with the pair of runs already on the board, factor that high pitch count might set him up to do more damage later in this game.
Back to the top of the lineup, and now here's a speed threat. Outfielder Esteury Ruiz. 1 down, base is empty. Late on that fastball.
2-2 count.
Swings and misses. Some high cheese for strike 3.
With that kind of velocity, an elevated fastball, even if it's still in the strike zone, can be tough for hitters to get on top of.
Now the number 2 hitter, Zach Geloff. Falling behind 2-1. Got the bat going too soon. It's strike 2.
2 strikes.
2 out, space is empty. Right side. Laureano settles under it and puts the squeeze on that one. And that is that. So they make short work of him there. On to inning number 4. It's the A's 2 and the Guardians 1. And we're back. John Sciambi with Chris Singleton and set to lead off the 4th, Grady Sizemore. And a foul ball.
He's been pitching well, but going through this middle of the order second time through, we'll see what kind of adjustments are being made.
finish him off.
Very frustrating right there as a speedy potential base runner when with 2 strikes you just struggle to put the ball in play. You don't even have to get a hit at that point. You can help your team just by reaching on an error, but some way you got to find a way to shorten up the swing and put the ball in play next time.
And now it's Josh Naylor. That one out to right. Rooker sizing this one up. He's got it, and there's 2 away.
The right fielder.
Laureano comes up to hit.
Laureano.
And here it comes. Oh, great grab on the dive. Over to first. And that's a nice play to end the inning.
First, it looks like making the stop is the hardest part, but feeding to the pitcher on the move, I think even tougher. Great job of hitting that moving target. They're going to be fired up in the dugout.
Back here in East Bay. And here's the first baseman, Jason Giambi. Here's a 1-1. Here's a strike. Chris, we were excited to watch him pitch. This is a little more along the lines of what we were expecting performance-wise.
Yeah, but great pitchers like this, you may get one opportunity in one inning to get to him, to get some runs up on the board. And if you don't take it then, you may see zeros the rest of the ball game.
Left-hand batter waits. And that's in the dirt. Just missed.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
Fights it off. You'll see another. That's hard hit on the line. Grabs it on the run. 1 up, 1 down.
Man, he smoked that fastball. He's all over it. It's just frustrating when you can't get it to fall. Maybe next time up he'll find a hole.
Next up for the A's, Ricky Henderson. Chris, baseball today, so many strikeouts, and they are available to pitchers. But this is a guy that puts the bat on the ball and is kind of different from the players that we see day in, day out. Sizes this one up, makes the catch, and there's 2 down.
The batter, the right fielder.
And here is Brent Rooker. Two down, nobody on. We're here in the bottom of the 4th. On the ground, right side. Jimenez, throw to first. Play made, that ends the inning. Nothing doing for the offense that time. We played 4. It's the A's 2 and the Guardians 1. Back in Oakland, we go to the top of the 5th, and stepping in is the speedy Andres Jimenez. Swing and a miss as he was out front that time. Line drive, and that's a base hit out into center field. So a man on base to start the inning.
I'm sure he feels really good about that one. Absolutely punished that pitch. Wasn't fooled in the slightest. 109 off the bat. I think that means you put a pretty good swing on it. And now a chance to maybe get creative on offense with good speed on first.
Bo Naylor getting ready to hit. And a pitch. And the 1-2 misses to even the count. Step off, throw to first. Jimenez back on a dive. The 2-2. In the air, pretty deep out to center field. Squeezes it.
The bat, number 13, shortstop, Gabriel.
Here's the shortstop at the plate, Gabriel Arias. The kick and the pitch. Runner goes. It's a pitch out. Throw to second. Tag. Out at second.
That goes to show you stealing a base is a tough thing to do and far from a sure thing, even with big-time speed. It's not easy to catch him, but that was a great catch and throw. Quick, not rushed, and accurate.
The Guardians down by a run, and we're at the top of the 5th. And that one hit to first. He takes it himself to the bag, and that'll do it. Ready to go for the last half of the inning. Down the third baseman, J.D. Davis.
On the mound, he had a little trouble back in the first, but it's been a different story the rest of the way. Really settled into this outing nicely.
Line and a base hit into right. So a runner aboard to start the inning.
Love how he let that ball travel. Trust in his hands. Nice job.
So here's Brown at the plate. And the righty deals.
2-1.
Squirts away a little bit. And the runner holds. Davis aboard here at first with nobody out. Swing and a pop-up in foul ground. Ramirez drifts towards it. He's there. He's got it. And there's one down.
Now batting, catcher, Soderstrom.
Digging in for Oakland, Tyler Soderstrom.
Taken high in the draft, he's had that top prospect labeled over him since he put on a professional uniform. But at some point, that starts to go away, and you've got to produce at the big league level.
Man at first, one away. Fastball for a strike. And a swing and a miss. And there's two down.
Just indecisive in that at bat. He couldn't commit to the slider. Tried to sit in between. Just not able to put the bat on the ball.
And it's Aledmys Diaz. Two outs. In the air, right field. Right there is Laureano. Nabs it. That is the inning. So they can't do anything with the leadoff single there. We're through 5. It's the A's 2 and the Guardians 1. Top of the 6th inning. Now the left fielder, Stephen Kwan. The pitch. Late that time, it's strike 2.
Well, a come and get me fastball right there. He didn't look ready for the velocity. I think it'd be a mistake to throw him anything off speed right here.
pitch. And he grounds one to the right side. Geloff tosses to first. Leadoff man retired in the 6th. Now it's Jose Ramirez.
If you don't get ahead in the count, you can forget about having any success against him.
And delivers outside. Next pitch is outside.
Oh, they've had a hard time scoring in this one. The pitcher out there on the mound wants to keep attacking, make sure that they don't get any confidence.
Line drive.
Yikes, that one was scorched, an absolute missile, and it almost becomes self-defense as the fielder. When one of those things comes screaming towards you, watch your lips.
And up next for Cleveland, Larry Doby. And another ball. Missed with a changeup, and that's ball 3. Grady Sizemore to bat next. On the ground to first. Giambi takes it to the bag. Guardians go down in order. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left. Top of the order due up in the home half of the 6th. It's the A's 2 and the Guardians 1. And we're back. Here's the center fielder, Esteury Ruiz. And the pitch. That one to first. He gets there with the slide. Takes it himself, and he got him. Nicely done at first for the out.
The batter, the second baseman,
Zach Geloff now at the plate. Kicks and fires.
Well, you got to give him credit out there on the mound. This outing started off a little shaky, but he's found a way to settle in and turn this into a pretty good start. Kind of shows you a lot about his mental makeup as a pitcher.
Way high with that one. And it's 2-2. That's inside.
He should get a pretty good pitch to hit here with 3-hole hitter coming up if he's walked.
Popped in the air, left field, hauls it in, and there's 2 away.
Good pitch. He just kind of had him out in front on that pitch away and wasn't able to stay close.
the first baseman, Jason.
And now the first baseman, Jason Giambi. And it was a homer back in the first inning that got his day started at the plate.
Yeah, Boog, a 2-run blast. His fans were just still getting into their seats here at the ballpark. So if you showed up late to this one, you missed out on a big moment early on.
Swing and a miss, and he was fooled. 2 down, nobody on here in the bottom of the 6th. And that's off the inside edge. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, struck him out. And 1, 2, 3 go the A's, but they still lead it 2-1. And welcome back to the ballpark. All set for the start of the inning. Now the 4-hole hitter for the Guardians, Grady Sizemore. Singy, you got to appreciate a guy who's this good defensively. I mean, watching him track balls in the outfield, it is beautiful. Swing and a high fly ball down the left field line, but hooking foul.
He's so solid, calms the heart rate of the pitcher and the manager when the ball goes up in the air. You just automatically assume that it's an out.
He swung over top of the curveball. A big first out here in the 7th via the punch out.
Yeah, it just does so much to change the outlook of an important inning like this. When you got the leadoff hitter, so critical in setting the table when you got a tight game like this. So a strikeout really puts them on their heels.
Here's Josh Naylor looking to get the tying run on base. Swinging a foul over the screen and back out of play. Swings and misses at the breaking ball in the dirt. Up with it, fires to first. And there's 2 gone following the strikeout.
Well, obviously that was nowhere near the strike zone by the time it got to the plate. And people at home watching are thinking, what's he swinging at? But I'll tell you, some of the break guys snap off these days is just devastating. It can be so tough to recognize where a pitch like that's going to end up.
Ramon Laureano digs in for the Guardians. Two down, nobody on. Gets a piece and stays alive. And he deals. That one missed. That's foul off to the right side. Keeps the AV going. And now the lefty swings and misses. And good work there as he gets a 1-2-3. Guardians fail to score. And our score remains 2-1. Back here in the East Bay. And now it's going to be Ricky Henderson. Lined, and that's a base hit. And the leadoff man aboard.
Couldn't have timed it up any better than that. Nice job of driving that pitch the other way on a line. You know, hitters, they take so many reps in the cages working on going to the opposite field, and it doesn't always translate into the game, but right there it did, and he did it perfectly. And now they've got some speed on first, so we'll see if they try to get him into motion.
And now there's a swing and a drive. Way back there. And it's gone. A gigantic blast. And they add a couple more. It's 4-1. That one just sounded different.
And it might have been the loudest moment yet. Man, my ears are ringing. I can feel that swing from the booth. He wanted to hit, spent on some other pitches in this at bat, was very patient, and it paid off.
Here comes the skipper, and we're going to see a pitching change in this spot. Bob Feller done for the night. It's a 3-run game, and we'll be back to tell you about the new arm in a minute. So out of the pen comes the right-hander, Tristan McKenzie.
Just trying to keep this one close here, and this is where a bullpen can give their players a chance to fight back into the game.
Now it's J.D. Davis. And the right-hander deals. Swing and a miss. And it's 1-2.
2 strikes.
Right-handed reliever. Got him swinging.
No, that slider was way out of the zone, and for me it just comes down to not seeing the pitch out of the hand, not tracking it into the zone, and then also being a little bit anxious, not confident in your 2-strike approach. And so when a guy's in that position, you get him to commit early, and a lot of times you get the swing and miss as you did right there.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Wow, good luck catching up to that one.
That's
2-2
down
count.
and in. A slider missed. Two runs across in the inning. Here, the bottom of the 7th. He goes down looking.
Well, that's a pitch, that slider from an opposite-handed pitcher that you usually see very well, but for some reason he didn't pick it up, and it just kind of got into the strike zone late. Gave up on it a little bit early.
Yeah, now 2 balls and a strike.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Two outs. And a swing and a miss, and that's that. But 2 come across to score in the inning, courtesy of this 2-run homer. It's now 4-1. Welcome back, and a new arm on the mound to start the 8th. Raleigh Fingers.
Now pitching for the Athletics, number 34, Raleigh Fingers.
Stepping in, Andres Jimenez.
The second baseman.
The Guardians in striking distance, but have some work to do.
Boog, it starts with the leadoff man. I need a good at-bat out of him right here.
Just missed. Oakland's bullpen has some movement. Dennis Eckersley, the closer, is getting ready and perhaps looking at a long save opportunity here. Jackson getting loose as well. Here comes a pitch. That misses. 3-1 now.
Got to keep things airtight defensively right here. On your toes, ready to make a play. If you can get this to the 9th with a 3-run lead, it should be a W.
3-1, and he couldn't come up with it.
Well, he tried to nibble right there and just missed his spot. The hitter didn't offer at it. Now he has somebody to worry about over at first.
Next to hit, Bo Naylor. The Athletics leading by 3, and we're at the top of the 8th. Right through there for a strike. That one lifted to left. Henderson makes the play.
The batter, the pitcher, Gabriel Arias.
So up next, Gabriel Arias. Sing, you talk about a guy that has all the skills. The range is really good, but the arm just stands out, and he makes all the plays. Right-hander kicks, deals. That one fouled off, 2-2.
And because of that big power arm, he's able to play a little bit deeper, make throws from the outfield grass all the way across the diamond, and still get a pretty good runner. That's impressive.
Cuts and misses. It's a strikeout. So the Guardians lineup turns over. Here's the Cleveland leadoff hitter, Stephen Kwan. At the belt and fires. Swings and misses. It's a strikeout. Nasty fork ball for strike 3. 1 left for the Guardians, and they trail it 4-1. Bottom of the 8th. Striding to the plate now for Oakland, Aledmys Diaz.
Aledmys Diaz.
Ball to strike. A little out front there as he swings through it.
Clearly he was sitting on a fastball right there and just ended up out in front of the slider. Hey, you can't fault him for his commitment. Now he's just going to have to battle with 2 strikes.
1-2 now. Gets a piece there. We'll do it again. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Looks like he's picked up right where he left off.
I got to think that was the plan all the way. He set him up with the high fastball and then bury that curveball down low to get him swinging. Now, especially with how effective pitchers work up in the zone these days, that's a devastating combination.
And the pitch. Right through there for a strike. Base is empty, one away. Here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. High fly ball lifted in the air right field. Laureano pulls that one down, and there's 2 down.
Up next is Oakland, the second baseman.
2 outs, base is empty. Now it's the second baseman, Zach Geloff. The wind of the pitch. Just missed.
Well, he's so great about hitting the ball the other way. He gets those arms extended. So right there, just trying to straighten him up a little bit so he doesn't have as much outside plate coverage.
Swing and a hard hit liner up the middle of the base hit. So a 2-out knock keeps the inning alive.
That's about as textbook as it gets. Got his stride low, out of the way early, stayed inside that ball and squared it up out front. Man, that was like he was in the cage hitting off a tee.
Runner at first with 2 away. Jason Giambi up next for the A's. Geloff, the runner at first with 2 gone. Comes up empty. That's strike 2.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Still 2-2 after the foul ball. And another ball.
3-2, 2-out, runner on first. A lot of movement in the infield. Hitter's got to stay focused on the pitch.
Ricky Henderson next to bat for the A's. 2 outs. Fouled off again. And it remains 3-2. Good battle here. About to be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Swings through that one. It's a strikeout. 1 left for Oakland, but they lead it 4-1. So the closer summoned from the bullpen, Dennis Eckersley. A chance at his first save of the year. Here's Jose Ramirez. Next pitch misses inside. Ball 2. Kicks and deals. And strike 2.
It's been tough for the offense so far, but you can't get frustrated. You got to find a way to shake it off, go up there and relax. That's the only way you're going to be able to put runs up on the board.
The pitch. Just misses the mark outside the zone. On the ground. Whips it to first on the run. Great play to keep the leadoff man off base. Now it's the Guardians DH, Larry Doby. A wind of the pitch. Swing and a miss as he was late.
Good late sink on that fastball. Out of the hand, looks so good, and then by the time it gets in the hitting zone, hard to get the barrel to it.
The A's trying to close out a 3-run lead here at the top of the 9th. Breaking ball inside. It's 2-2.
Looking to get something going. This is the guy you want at the plate. He's been great for this team. He is a professional hitter.
One down, base is empty. Wouldn't chase that time. And there's ball four.
Pitches down.
Second walk of the game for him, and he's been really patient at the plate. The game plan that he's sticking to, he's just not going outside of what he's looking for up there.
Man at first, digging in, Grady Sizemore. The Guardians trailing by 3 as we play game 1 of this 4-game series. Swing and a ball hit out towards left center field. Henderson snags it. So it's their last chance in this one. Stepping up for the Guardians, Josh Naylor. This could end it. Swing and a miss, and he got him. That finishes the evening's action.
Well, his first save of the season is in the books, and that was a nice job of him coming in the game and closing it out. He's off and running now.
4-1 the final here today. Oakland victorious. For Chris Singleton and our entire outstanding crew here at MLB The Show, I'm John Shambi saying so long.
First for the victorious Athletics, 4 runs on 5 hits, no errors. They led 2 runners on base. For Cleveland, 1 run, 4 hits, no errors. They led 4 runners on base. Time of the ball game, 2 hours and 51 minutes. Thank you for joining us here tonight. And we remind you to please drive home safely.
Mm-hmm.